You found us through fly fishing. You'll stay for our passion and the community. Welcome to the Wet Fly Swing podcast.
Yeah, but he doesn't get it. How come fly fishermen don't get it?
You only haul with the short power snap.
Look for where people walk and the insides of bends and hunt those.
The roof blew off and the interior walls got sucked out. And the trees are just coming up. And I mean, he's clearly not going to clear the trees.
It is not a fly fishing story. It's a story about me trying to understand my brother through fly fishing.
Welcome to the Wet Fly Swing Fly Fishing Show, where you discover tips, tricks, and tools from the leading names in fly fishing today.
Today's episode is sponsored by Togens Fly Shop, who provides superior quality products at an affordable price. An amazing resource for fly tying materials, tools, and fishing accessories. Since 2005, Togens has been over-delivering on price, service, and passion. And now you can check out that Togens buzz for yourself. Right now, you can head over to wetflyswing.com/Togens to get started. That's Togens. You support this podcast by clicking through that link to Togens online. We've been waiting for you. Follow our guests, follow us on Instagram, and share this episode and the love if you enjoy this podcast. And we are live in 3, 2, 1. How's it going, Gervais?
Pretty good, thank you. How are you doing, Dave?
Yeah, thanks for putting this together. We've taken us a little time to get here, but I'm glad you've got a microphone. You're kind of ready to roll today. Is everything? How's it looking up there in Canada today? Are you guys, weather-wise, fishing-wise, everything good up there?
Everything's still good right now. Trout fishing has been closed since Labor Day weekend, but still be able to go out fishing for walleye, bass, and pike, and the river's still pretty good though. We have lots of water right now, so it's no problem.
Yeah. And where are you coming from now?
Well, right now I'm in Rockland, Ontario. It's about 30 kilometers east of Ottawa, the national capital of Canada. And the weather right now is good. It's good. It's 10 degrees Celsius right now, and they're calling for about 22 today. So that should be a nice weather to go out on the water again.
Perfect. And is and you kind of sounds like you fish for all species up there. Do you have one that's kind of your focus?
Well, no, I don't have one. Well, actually, yes, I do. It's a brook trout that I love fishing. Yes, but in this Ottawa area, it's not too many brook trout. It's more like rainbows. In the Ottawa rivers, you get all kinds of fish in there. You get pike, muskie, bass, walleye, even all kinds of, even carps as well. We can actually fish for some carps sometime.
Oh yeah, you got it all. Cool. Nice. Well, we're going to talk today, Heroes Mending on the Fly Canada. This comes up quite a bit. I can't remember the last episode, but we talk about this quite a bit. The importance of the groups that you have there, and these around the U.S. and Canada. So I want to hear, how Heroes Mending on the Fly Canada, how it got started, how you got into it. But first, take us back to fly fishing. What's your first memory? How'd you get into that?
Well, I grew up in a small town on the south shore of the St. Lawrence River in Quebec. It was called La Pogatière. My father was working for the bishop for La Pogatière in the diocese, and the bishop himself, he was an avid fly fisherman, but he had a camp and he didn't want to go by himself, so he was bringing me along to be the weight forwards in this canoe.
Sure, he needed weight. He needed weight in the boat.
Yeah, so he was fly fishing, and I was actually amazed about the fact that the fly fishing, because I was not allowed to use any worms in the lakes for fishing. And I said that one time, I said to him, I was about 80 years old, yes. And I said, I would like to learn. And he looked at me with a big grin in his face. He told me, it's about time you to ask.
Right, that's pretty cool.
So actually he got me a couple of courses. And at that time, there was actually, we used to fish with bamboo rods. And they're pretty slow, and it's easy to learn with a bamboo because it's not as today with the new technology that's the movement are more rapid. The bamboo is a slow and easy motions to do. So anyway, that's how I get hooked onto it, and especially catching my first trout on a fly that got me all excited.
Right. Do you remember that first one?
Oh yes, I do. The first or second cast on the water, we did practice on the ground first, and I was in the canoe and the first or second cast, I got a trout right on the fly, so that got me hooked. And then,
Wow, yeah. So you got started at a young age, and when did Heroes Mending on the Fly Canada? When did that come into play?
well, I started with Project Healing Waters back in 2009. Project Healing Waters Canada was actually brought in Canada in 2007, and we had an MOU with Project Healing Water US, and that's how I get hooked on. In 2009, I was coming back from Afghanistan, and I was actually get involved with the youth program, and I was looking for some sponsors for fly rods, and I came across with Carrie Pitt, who was the actual founders for Project Healing Waters Canada. Asked me if I was interested to join. So I did join the program over there then, and that's how I got hooked on. And in 2019, we got the MOU revoked, and so Project Healing Waters US didn't want us to play with them anymore. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, that's in the past now. That's okay, and that's how at that time we had groups in Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Quebec, one in BC, one in Alberta, and Ontario. We had 3 other groups there. So with the directors of those groups, the coordinators, myself, and we looked and said, well, we cannot use the Project Healing Waters anymore, so we got to come with our own entity. And that's how Heroes Mending on the Fly came in March 2019.
Oh, wow. Who came up with that, the Heroes Mending? Was that a group effort?
No, that was a group effort because I saw at one point in time, I was looking into flies for arrows or something like related to fly fishing. And we just actually had a big Zoom meeting that time, and we just mingle, and Heroes Mending on the Fly came out like that. So that's why we adopted the Heroes Mending on the Fly. Who exactly brought up the words, the mending? I don't remember, because it's a group effort anyway.
So is Heroes Mending, is essentially, and we've had a couple of episodes with Project Healing Waters. We'll put those in the show notes. Is it similar, pretty much identical to that? Do you guys do things a little bit different than kind of folks that are familiar with that?
We do basically similar, but we also expand to the first responders as such as the RCMP officers, serving and retired service officers, or firefighters, police officers, and EMS services. So because the pool of veterans is not as big as it is with the American side of it.
Right. That's the thing. It's just, and same thing with the, just everything, right? It's U.S., Canada, very similar, people and everything, right? But it's just that there's fewer of everything, right? Up north, which is great. Which is great in a lot of ways because it means you have less water, less pressure on the water, right? Is that kind of how it looks for you?
Yeah, we get less pressure, but most of the outfitters here in Canada, their main businesses is actually from the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we get all the businesses. It's U.S. based basically. So
that's right. That's good.
Regardless, we still got lots of places to go out fishing, and the pressure is not as much as it is in like you go in Montana or any other places. Like, but the fishing is good. Is you got lots of pressure. Here is places that's actually more control, more into the conservation, preservations, and reestablish the native populations. So,
yeah, gotcha. So talk a little about, I was kind of trying to, I think we all understand what it's about, basically Heroes Mending, people come back from, basically PTSD a lot of times, right? It's that, and they're able to learn how to fly fish, and that helps them, with some of these some of these things are dealing with. Talk about, maybe, can you give us a couple of examples or stories of people, you don't have to use names, but just, how it works, stuff that you've seen over the last few years?
Well, actually, I can say that really it does help, because back in about 3 years within the program, I will say, we had one individual that came back from Afghanistan. He was actually kind of to himself in his basement and everything. And a friend of his brought him up with him at the program one evening, and we started to work. But he didn't like it at the beginning, but he said, "No, just take your time," and so on and so forth. And he stayed with us, and gradually he actually picked it up and started making flies. And he had also other problems, but at one point in time, he's actually tried to commit suicide. So I got a call, and a kind of fishy call type. And so I said, okay, I'll take a chance. I drove to his place, and just drove to his place at the right time, because actually he was actually attempt suicide. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. So I follow him for about 3 weeks after that. And now he's actually doing fly tying on a daily basis, and he's actually going out fishing as soon as the waters open up. He's out on the water until they close down on the water. Even the hard water time during the winter time, he's actually doing some ice fishing as well. So now he's doing very, very, very well. Yeah, and he's one of the lead in the program down in Quebec area. So no, that's actually do lots of good things for them. It's a couple other times we actually went out on the waters, and people came up to me and said, "You know what? It's the first time I do enjoy to be outside with the groups." And so it's been lots of those guys been isolated themselves for like a month in their basement. And it's actually therapeutic, and I can actually say, yes, it does make a big difference.
Yeah, what is it? They talk about that example. You have that person that was, close to or trying to commit suicide. I mean, what does the program do for them? Can you describe that? How it takes, you know what I mean? How does it fix that or help that?
Well, we actually connected with some special units with the National Defense and the Veterans Affairs of Canada have different places that you can actually go for specialists and bring those guys. And we have connections with those offices, and we can actually get other therapists involved with us as well as we need. We try to be open to everything, doing getting the families involved as well. We try to do family events where the veterans or the participant that comes in and is following the program, and also doing an events for the family as well. So to actually get reconnect and get them also to be reconnected into the outdoors facilities that we have.
Yeah. So how does it? So if somebody comes in brand new, let's say there's somebody listening right now who's an EMT or a police officer or something like that, and they need some help. Talk about how they would get involved. How does it work? Walk us through, like somebody brand new to it. How do they get going?
Well, first of all, most of those actually either get it through the web page. We also have different places that we have for our brochures, and like in the doctor offices, physiotherapists, and veteran affairs. We got our brochures over there, so we get all the contacts information. They either contact us via emails, telephone calls sometimes, but mainly emails. And
email.
And when we do have, and we got programs running right now, Newfoundland, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, Alberta, and BC. So the only one right now is not covered is Saskatchewan, but we're still working to get the Saskatchewan programs going on over there. And when I receive an email from an individual, so I'm going out and ask a few questions, and also where did he get the information, then I actually transfer him to the proper coordinator, provincial coordinator. And from that point on, I'll make sure that the coordinator actually contact the individual. And that's how the contact's made, basically through emails, basically.
Through emails. Okay. And I'm on your, oh yeah, you got the nice contact button right up front. So you just click the contact button. Yep, there it is. Get in touch, get your name. Perfect. And which area you're coming from. So yeah, so you got it all Ontario. And so you said the only one you don't have covered is which province?
Saskatchewan right now is not covered.
Yeah, and you have it on. You do have it listed on. Well, you'd have it listed as just where they're coming from. But nice. So when somebody, let's just say they are in, pick anyone. Let's just say Alberta. So they call in from Alberta. What is the next step? So somebody, you email back. How does that look? How do you get them involved?
Well, let's say Alberta is coming from Alberta and tell me, okay, I'm from such place in Alberta, like Calgary, and I have my provincial coordinator in Alberta. So I'll take that information and transfer it to the provincial director of Alberta. At that point on, he takes over, and he's actually get the guys involved. As a national director, I don't know, like Alberta, they have I know they have one in Calgary, and I do believe they have one in Edmonton as well. But in between, I don't know if they'd have others because I don't have the time to check everything. But mostly, like if I go to Alberta, he will have a place to actually send the person. If we don't have a program lead in, let's say, Medicine Hat in Alberta, but the coordinator has a fly fishing group over there, they will get them involved with that fly fishing group. That's just be like a third party serving.
Oh yeah, gotcha. So you'll find somebody, if you're in an area, you'll find some way to put them in touch with a group, even if they're not right in the exact location.
Exactly. Yeah. We try to work with all the fly tying clubs or fly fishing club across Canada. And when we do have groups that's highly interested, so we just actually have an MOU drafted with them, and we just, and they're part of the program as a therapist program. 2 years ago, we got the Hamilton fly fishing groups that actually came up to us and said, well, we'd like to join you guys and help out. So that we got in Hamilton. So we got a group in Hamilton now, and we've got a couple other groups that start growing in Ontario. And the same thing in Quebec area. They have about 5 or 6 subsections across Quebec. So it's a slow process, but it's growing.
Right. So you basically get people just kind of word of mouth, people reaching out to you now, where you don't really have to do a lot of marketing. How does that look? Are you trying to how do you make sure you're not missing people out there?
Well, it's hard to know if we do miss or we're not missing, but I know for a fact it's lots of word of mouth, because when a participant comes in, let's say at the first year, everything is free for him. Like we supply all the tools, materials for the flying tying classes. Then we have the fly casting, that is all free, and we take them out for 2 to 3 days outing in the wilderness. And everything is at no cost. And you can stay as long as you want, but the second year we have advanced classes. Then the material, for instance, because we are so small and we don't have a charitable status that we can actually canvas money through companies and stuff like that. So what we do is actually we have company that give us good discounts, and when we buy the material, they just pay them what the cost is for us, that just to cover the cost. So we don't make any profit out of it.
And where does the money just to purchase that come from?
We got the Royal Canadian Legions across Canada. They actually support us a lot, and it's amazing the money that we can raise coming from them, those entities.
Yeah, gotcha. And these are kind of like governmental or types of groups that are basically supporting veterans and first responders.
Yeah, they're not linked with the the government. It's an independent entity by themselves. And most of the money is raised during the puppy campaign. From the last Friday of October until November 11th, you see the red puppies coming up on the lapel of the people across Canada, and it's all through donations.
Yeah, I got you. So they have a nonprofit probably designation, and they generate money, and then they can send that out to you guys, others.
Yeah, that's right. And because we work mainly with veterans, because our main goals is veterans, and 95% of the participants right now is veterans. And we just actually got affiliated with another good organization. They call it True Patriot Love. It's basically fundraising groups that actually goes out and get monies from various companies, and they do program for veterans. And we're now linked with those guys. So probably in the near future, we'll get money from those guys. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to generate. That's the thing. Since you don't have nonprofit, you've got to find groups like this that you can support what you do, essentially.
That's correct. Yeah, and sometimes we do have donations from other sources. As people learn about the program, like relative from the veterans that came out to the program and did some good. So sometimes we have small donations, but we do explain that we're not able to do any charitable receipts, but they still donate anyway. So.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, and I'm looking at the Legion. It's legion.ca. It says.
That's right.
Yeah, your Royal Legion, Canadian Legion, is committed to making a difference in the lives of veterans and families, providing essential services. So this is pretty amazing. And what would somebody, if people listening now, we definitely have lots of people in the U.S. and Canada, but what would you tell them? How could somebody listening now help what you have going, to help some of these veterans?
Well, if they are interested to help out and be involved with the program as a volunteers, you just have to contact me and I'll direct them to the proper place that let's say if they are in New Brunswick, they'll send it out to the New Brunswick coordinator, Newfoundland coordinator. I got two of there. I got in the central Newfoundland and one in St. John's. Nova Scotia, I got three different. I got the provincial coordinator, and it's got three different area that they actually be covering Nova Scotia. So all depends where they at, and we're always looking for volunteers to come out and help, and more volunteer coming from outside the main area, but they know they have lots of veterans in that area, and we'll actually just have a chat with them and see what they can actually help us out with. We receive also from people that actually sees tying. Like last year, when I received about 6 cases of tying material from a person that passed away.
Oh wow!
And the family didn't want to throw that away, so they sent it out to us. So when something that does happen like this, what I do, I divide it to all the groups and send them out to the groups, because that saves us lots of money, and also that's actually the material is spread out and it's been used, not been thrown in the garbage.
Right. That's it. So
yeah,
wow. And I've heard the story. I can't remember if this was I know it was a nonprofit, but they were talking about a story that they had a partnership with one of the I think it was Temple Fork Outfitters, but essentially TFO would give away a rod for each new member that joins, sort of thing.
Yeah, that was with actually Lefty Cree before he passed. And it was actually TFO, but TFO was in the U.S. In Canada, we never had that privilege to receive free fly rods from them.
Yeah, but it just got me thinking. There's probably some group, maybe U.S. or Canadian, that maybe could do something similar. Could a deal like that work? If you found somebody that would essentially give gear to new people, right? But you don't really have a membership site, people coming in, and you can't accept money, right? Technically, people, if they wanted to donate money, you couldn't accept it.
Well, we can accept it. Yeah, we can accept the money, but the only thing is we cannot issue a charitable receipts.
Oh, okay.
So if somebody wants to donate $1,000, and get a write-off for their taxes. We cannot do that because we're not.
Right, but you could take the money. You could take the money, though.
Oh yes, I can take the money if the people doesn't mind. You just want to give it to us, and they don't care about the fact that it's not be able to put in their income tax. Yes, we can.
Yeah, good. Okay. Well, I think there's probably some people that would do that even without the charitable donation. And then if they wanted to do that or volunteer anything, they could send an email out to you. Would that be a good place if they had questions? Remind us again, what's your email?
It's for anything related to the program is national directors at hmotf.ca.
Today's episode is sponsored by Togens Fly Shop. Togens Fly Shop provides superior quality products at a great price. They have also a great YouTube channel that you can check out right now with new fly tying tutorials each week. Togens also has you covered if you're looking for unique in-house products, and they also support many of the great brands out there that you know and trust. It's been fun connecting with Justin and the family over the years now, and it's been really cool. A great local fly shop. Togens is also offering their fly tying box, where they send out materials at a regular cadence where you don't even have to think of it. You just open the mailbox and there's your Togens pack. And I recently made an order through Togens, and the experience is always perfect. They've got you covered if you ever have questions or need any help, whether that's a YouTube tutorial or connecting with them personally. Since 2005, Togens has been over-delivering on customer service, and it's time for you to check out Togens Buzz for yourself. You can head over to wetflyswing.com/Togens right now to check out their diverse selection of products today. You support this podcast by clicking through that link to Togens online. That's Togens, Togens. Okay, back to the show. And so talk about your area or an outing that you're more familiar with or you're most familiar with. Do you have something coming up that you're looking forward to? Is there? You mentioned brook trout as a species. Do you have a trip that you're going to be out on with some of these people?
Well, we just had 2 trips this summer with those people, and it just happened to be in the Quebec area, in Quebec City area, and it's they call it Parc de Laurentides, and we went into Lactinage. They have like a big cottage there, and then we can actually host up to 20 people, and it's a big group, but it's a big lake, and the fishing is phenomenal in that area. And we all stay under the same roof for about 3 days. And on evenings, when we don't go fishing, we just sit around the fire pit and talk. And some people bring their guitars. It's all relaxed. Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's unlimited. And right now we're working for next spring on a family event that will bring like the couple event, like mother, the spouse can also bring, like if you don't have a spouse, but it can bring a son or daughter to an event that would try to do. We're working on that right now for the Ontario side of it.
So people can bring some family members.
Family members, yeah. That does actually help reconnect themselves together. Because sometimes when you suffer PTSD, you kind of insulated, like be by yourself in the corner. Some people goes into the alcohol, some other people goes into the drugs, but and family kind of suffer that, suffer the consequences of it, and we try to actually work them out. But we don't have any, like if we need to, we can actually bring some specialists on mental health and stuff like that. But none of us are specialists on mental health or family health or whatever. We're all a bunch of volunteers. Everybody who works with us are volunteers. We don't have any salary to pay. Everything is done through volunteering asset. The only thing we have to pay is our accounting firms, because we have to have for the government have to have an independent firms that do all our accounting for us.
Sure. Gotcha. Wow. So yeah, these outings sound amazing. And the fishing to this lake. So this was the specific one you're talking about. What were the species that you're chasing?
Oh, it's a natural brook trout. It's not stock. It's just natural reproductions. You go from normal size, well, normal size, about 8 to 10 inch, and you can go up to 5 pound trout as well,
Oh, wow.
depending the time you go into there. But those, especially in the Laurentian Park, in the they call it the CEPAC, is a preservation park that they only do what's natural reproduction of the fish. There's no stocking. Like if you go to some other outfitters, they do stock their lake on a regular basis, but those places, they don't do that. They just reproduce naturally, and it's it's a really phenomenal place. You got wolf night that sings.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah. You can actually see some moose or deers or whatever.
Amazing.
Around lakes. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What's the? Did you say the name of the lake?
It's a Lactinage. It's
How do you spell that?
Lactinage. It's a LACDES Neige NEIGES. Lack of the snow. In English, I can say.
Yeah, that's quite a. There's no way that spelling I would ever. It's and obviously it's French, right? I mean,
that's in Quebec. That's in French. Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, that's lactin. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, awesome. Well, and I'm taking a look now. So, in these lakes, and there's multiple lakes around there. And the cool thing about that is you're getting, up to 5 pounds. Have you had some of those larger brook trout on? What's that like?
Oh, it's fun. It's a really, really, a wild trout is actually good, and there's good fight and everything. But we do lots of catch and release, especially a 5 pound. It's a trout that's reproducing a lot, so we just leave it back, going back. It's like Atlantic salmon. We got a couple lodge that actually do invite veterans from the program. They do invite a couple of veterans every year to go out salmon fishing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's in New Brunswick, and that's and they contact me, and what we do is actually kind of a raffle out the trips for the participant, and when they go over there, everything is taken care of by the lodge. Like the lodge actually owes them out, and they supply everything that they need. So it's phenomenal. That's like. People that go to those lodges will probably be about $2,000 to $3,000 for 2 to 3 day fishing.
Right. So you're able to. So typically, that's what you like. For this example, you would find a lodge to work with. That's the best situation.
Yeah, that's sometimes the lodge contact us, and from that point on, we actually work with them. We're looking like it's all kinds of lodge in Canada. That's could actually host the veterans, and they can actually host them for like minimal price or minimal cost, whatever. But it's hard to find a place that they will actually give us like a slot, like a 2 days or 3 days free of charge.
That's right, because they have to. That's during the peak season, right? Something like that.
Yeah, that's right. I used to go, and I don't know if that's still feasible. Back when we were with Project Healing Waters, I used to go out and bring some Canadian veterans with me to Wilderness North. That was a resort, and we go to Miminisca Lake. It's about an hour and a half flight from Thunder Bay up to north, and fish with some Project Healing Waters veterans, American veterans and Canadian veterans. I don't know if they're still doing it because with the COVID and everything, that was kind of a slowdown. I never had a chance to talk back with the owners, and because some of the stuff that happened, and we have to rebuild, and we have lots of work to do. But in the near future, I will try to contact them back and see what we can do, have a partnership with them or whatever.
Gotcha. Wow. And I'm just looking on the map at the Lactinage Lake, which is it's just kind of downstream of Quebec City, right?
Yeah, it's about an hour drive from north of Quebec City. Yes.
Yeah, near Charles Rivera. Is that?
Oh no, the other way around, towards Chicoutimi.
Oh, okay, the other way around. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you're in that whole system where basically coming up from the north, out of wherever, right? New Brunswick, you've got this river channel that flows down into Lake Ontario, right? Is this all kind of in the same area, connected a little bit?
No, it's not.
No,
it's actually the water that we're talking about is flowing from north to south into the St. Lawrence River, close to Lamel Bay, Bay St. Paul. It's a northeast of Quebec City. Northeast of Quebec City, if I will say.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha.
Trois-Rivières is north. It's west of Quebec City.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. And do you get involved? It sounds like, when you look on the map, there's just lakes and water everywhere.
Yeah.
Where do you guys go when you start to look at these programs, finding the next place to go? How do you decide where, how do you find this place? How do you know where to go?
Well, let's see, for instance, in the Quebec City area I did grow up in that area, and it was kind of my playground. I was a younger age, and during the time of my military time, when I was getting in holidays, I used to go out fishing over there as well. So that area, I know it pretty well, and it's a government run. It's not a private lodge. It's not, so it's easy to actually have access. Some places, especially if it's an outfitters, they already have their regular customers that goes every year, and it's hard to get space to go in there. Yeah, they get a spot. But some, what they call the CEPAC, is actually easier to get because it's all like people, sometimes they don't want to go there. They want to go more into fish, to catch fish for their winter time type of deal, I guess.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And most of the outfitters, they just have their business and they want to get their business running, and they don't. It's hard to get free stuff from those guys.
Sure. Yeah, I hear you. No, it is. They got this business, and if they, giving out trips or spots during a week, that's quite a bit of money. I mean, some of these trips, because you're up in these areas, I'm guessing that you might pay, $5,000-$10,000 for some of these big, nice lodges, right? Maybe more.
Some places, yes. In Labrador, you're talking.
Labrador.
In Labrador, you're talking about close to $1,500 a day.
Oh wow, yeah, and is that Canadian? Yeah, that's Canadian.
That's Canadian. Yeah, that's about probably be $1,100 US.
Yeah, a day, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're looking at definitely like $6,000, $7,000, whatever, $9,000 for a week.
That's correct, and that's all catch and release. You're not allowed to bring any fish out of there.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we got started, just behind the scenes here, I sent you the wrong link. We use this program, Lips and Connect, and I sent a link to, and you see it, Robin Reeve.
Yeah, that's right.
The link, right? So I'm not sure if you know Robin, but she actually is coming up on the podcast here, I think in the next month. But she owns one of the great lodges up in your area, and I've heard about her through John Gierach.
Okay.
John mentioned, he said, "Hey man, I've been going to this great lodge for a long time, and it's Robin Reeve runs it. So I'll have to figure out where that is. You might want to check that one out and see. It's a famous brook trout lake up there. So I'll send you a link.
Yeah, sure. I will appreciate it and see if I can connect something over there and get something going.
Yeah, and I think I found it. It's the Three Rivers Lodge is the lodge, and I'm looking at a photo now, which looks amazing. Yeah, Three Rivers Lodge. It's in located in Labrador, some 150 miles northeast of Labrador City and Wabash. So, anyways, there you go. So it sounds like if John Gierach, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with some of his work. He's he's written quite a bit, quite a number of books. But if he recommends it, I'd say it's probably a good one. Yeah,
it's on the Churchill Project dams type deal. It's the lodge himself and all the lakes and everything that's part of the dam project of the Churchill Falls.
Oh, okay.
Hydro system. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. How are the bugs? I'm just curious. Up in your neck of the woods, you guys have in the summertime? Do you get some pretty nasty bug activity, like as far as the mosquitoes and all that stuff?
Well, it's about the same as down in the States, but we just it's. I don't have any problem with that myself. Some do, but I don't.
Okay, it's not like no. I just think of Alaska as always. You go up there, and sometimes you have to wear bug nets for the whole trip and things like that. It gets really bad.
Oh yeah, but you get used to it, and I never. That's something I can't get myself in the face is a bug net.
Yeah. So you spray, do the spray on. What do you use?
Yeah.
The spray stuff, DEET or whatever?
I don't use DEET. I use actually. I will use natural as much as I can.
What's the natural stuff? Is there a natural, like just whatever, it's the same thing, just organic?
It's organic. I don't have any on my hand right now, but one of them I used to use a lot when I was in Labrador. It's Skin So Soft from Avon.
Oh, okay. Roy.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Amazing. Yeah.
That's a good tip. All right. Well, we'll remember that because I know, I just had some buddies that got back and they were talking about how, the bugs were so bad that, I mean, literally, and I've been up there when it's like that, you can't have any part of your skin exposed. Otherwise, you're going to get torn up.
Yeah, that's, yes, because especially the black flies, that's the worst one is the black flies.
Oh, yeah, the black flies. Yeah.
The mosquitoes are just...
Not too bad. Yeah, the black flies are the ones that take a bite out of you, right?
That's correct, yes.
Chunk out of your skin.
Yeah. If you're in short sleeve, you'll have black flies all over. So you'll always get to use the long sleeves and the hat. But I never use me personally, I never used a bug net at that point.
No. Yeah, I've only used it a couple times. Well, let's start. We'll start to take it out of here. We've got our fly shop segment, shout out segment here. I was going to do. And as we get into that, I was just start thinking about, maybe that place that you're thinking, what's the next lodge or location you want to go to. But let's do a quick shout out to, I'm not sure if you know Togens Fly Shop. They're one of our partners. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Togens. So they're one of our partners. I think they were one of the ones that recommended to connect with you guys. So Justin's doing some really good stuff over there. So I want to give a shout out to Togens and ask you, who would be, are there any local fly shops you want to give a shout out to here today? You guys probably don't have quite as many up there, do you?
Well, we do have quite a bit. And I know we do deal with a couple. Togen is one of them that we deal with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes, we do actually. All their hooks and material and everything that.
Oh, cool. We'll talk about that a little bit then. Maybe talk about that. So, do you work with Justin, or how did that become? Because I know Justin is a big supporter of you guys, just verbally, right?
Yeah. Well, before Justin took over from the shop, there was, I don't remember the name of the gentleman, but I start with Togen about back in 2009 or 2000.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then they change over, and I don't remember the name of the person that actually contacted. But anyway, so we've been dealing with Togen since at least 2009 or 2010, and they really, really have lots of material now. Because at one point in time, there was just like when they started, there was mainly hooks and a little bit of material. Now, when they took over, they started to have heading material, and they actually asked me, "What do you want for material?" So I said, "Okay, get some natural hair stuff like deer hair, moose hair, elk and stuff." So they actually came to me and asked me how they can develop their store. And same as Hackles. And no, they do right now have lots of material, and it's actually excellent material they have. And we love their hooks.
And their hooks.
Oh, yeah. Their hooks are just actually phenomenal. Excellent quality hooks. The price is right for the cost and everything. Yes, it's a really great shop.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, and Justin, he's been my contact, and I know we've had a couple of their ambassadors on. I think we got Stanton Jack coming up soon, and I think everybody raves about. I think, you know what I mean, like any business or any group, you're always talking about the service and the people.
Yeah,
and I think they have great service, so that's awesome. So I'm glad that. So your shout out is to Togens, and I guess we're going to stick with that for our shout out today.
Okay. There's a couple other ones that
give us another one. Any other ones that come to your mind?
There's one in New Brunswick. Is actually also on eBay. It's LG Fly Rods.
Okay, LG Fly Rods.
Yeah, it's Luc Gagné, that's the owner, and it's actually pretty good as well for material, and they give us a good deal. Nice. We got also Escape Anglers in PEI, and that's actually worked with us as well, and actually has good waders is with the Vision UK.
Oh yeah,
The
sure.
waders. I got waders from I bought waders this summer because my old pair of waders kind of gave away.
Oh yeah, yeah. What were the waders you had? What were the old ones that were great? Were they great waders? I mean, eventually they all break down, right?
Yeah, that was great. That was actually UK brand. I don't remember.
Oh, UK brand. Okay, I'm trying to think. I don't know the UK brands quite as well.
Yeah, I don't remember, but
Yeah. But it's Escape Anglers. It's ESKAPE.
Yeah, anglers.
Yeah, Escape Anglers.
And it's actually working with for the fly rods. It's Vision fly rods and the Vision waders. And I just got myself a pair of new waders, and I just love them.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I didn't know Vision had. That's the thing. I'm so new to, but I know Vision has a great name. I just didn't even realize they had waders.
Yeah, they do.
There you go. I'm looking at them now. Yeah, they look really. Actually, they look a little bit different. They have a they got women's and men's. They got a ton of different lineups. Okay, good. So we'll put a link to the Vision waders as well. Did you go with the hip waders, or did you go with like the full waders?
I go with the chest wader because I like. I'm more into the river and creeks fishing. I love going in when I was in Quebec City. My river I used to go on a regular basis was the Montmorency River. It's and it's north of. It's about 45-minute drive from my place, and I used to go over there and walk into the river, get the water running between your legs, and the water rushing out like around the rocks and everything. It's just soothing. It just it's peace. When you go over there, you just listen to the rivers, the water's running, and sometime I used to go over there on Sunday, like a Saturday, and walk the river and just sit on a rock and listen to the river and just relax and just taking the fresh air and the sun and the water running out and just charge you back up.
Amazing. Yeah, that's it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Did you have, when you got involved with Project Healing Waters the first time, was it your own, did it help you? Were you dealing with some stuff when you first came back from where you were at in Afghanistan?
Yeah, I was dealing with some stuff. And actually, when I went into the program, they put me right into as a director for the Quebec side of it.
Oh, wow. So You went right into the head position.
Yeah, right into it.
Wow.
But that's actually helped me as well to maintain my sanity.
Yeah, because you're busy. You're staying busy, right?
That's correct.
People are counting on you.
That's correct. And also, one thing that's in Quebec City, in the Quebec provinces, it's mainly Francophone, so everything was Anglophone, and all the paperwork that I received was all English. And I looked at it, and I said, well, if I want to do something within the Quebec area or within the province, it has to be translated. So I start translating everything. So my first group that I had was 10 veterans directly from in Valcartier. I had 2 civilian that I knew that actually helped me out to do the flying tank courses and so on and so forth. So we had that was kind of a sketchy type startup, but that was actually great. And we actually went out to the university. They had a camp out in the about an hour drive from the north of Quebec City, and they have about 5 lakes there. And they got a facility. They have like the lodging, the catering, and everything. So we went over there for 3 days, and I was actually spend the days over there in the lakes, and it was actually a good experience for me and a big learning curve as well. And that's how. Then the following years, we did that for about 4 years in a row. Then I got retired from the military, and some of the people didn't want get involved with after they get out, they didn't want to get involved with the military because they said, oh, it's too much flashback and so on and so forth. So we had to find a place to do our tying. And we were fortunate that the Legion in Quebec City gave us the room to do our program, to run the program. And in Quebec City, they've been there since, I would say, 2011. And they've been, every year they donate the location for them guys to carry on their tying and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So Quebec City is still a hub. That's still a place that, I mean, obviously I'm just looking city-wise, that's a pretty decent-sized city. Not quite the size of Montreal, but decent size.
Yeah, decent size. It's about like within the vicinity of Quebec City, you probably got close to 1 million people living around. Oh, yeah. And
Sure.
one of the main bases in Valcartier is about 30 kilometers north of that. And you got about 5,000 soldiers up there. So,
Oh, gotcha. Yep.
yeah. So the basin over there and for veterans is pretty good. So they have lots of veterans coming up. And I do know the provincial coordinators now open up chapters in Montreal, Victoriaville, I do believe. I know in Saguenay and now down east of Quebec, the southeast of Quebec, they got Rimouski now. And they got about 5 or 6 chapters going up right now in Quebec, in the Quebec province. And same as other places like in Nova Scotia right now, they got three other units that going on over there as well. So it's growing right now. So as much as we close to a base or to a like military facilities type, then we can get new veterans coming in.
Sure. Gotcha. Wow. Yeah, and I was just looking at it. So yeah, and it's the St. Lawrence River, of course, right? That runs through. Yeah, and basically it starts up north, goes down through Quebec City all the way into Montreal, and then eventually dumps out into Lake Ontario, which we've been talking a lot about because we're going to be heading up near that neck of the woods to fish for steelhead.
Yeah.
And the St. Lawrence is a famous river, right, for steelhead fishing.
Yeah.
Have you ever? Is that on your list to chase some steelhead down?
Yes. So we have actually, as a national group right now, I'm not involved with directly with the programs. I'm involved with the program, but I'm not too much involved with the outings. I leave that to the provincial coordinators and their different leaders, program leaders, and everything. I know that the Great Lakes fishing is actually excellent as well, and it goes like you go into the Great Lakes from the Superior right down to the Ontario Lakes and dumps into the St. Lawrence. Actually, this the Great Lakes are the main source.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's the St. Lawrence is from west to south.
It's I'm going the opposite way.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, right. Yeah, I got this totally backwards. This is great. Yeah, I'm glad you caught that right. So basically, this is high picture, high level stuff. But as you look at the Great Lakes, yeah, you start at Superior. And just looking at it, when you zoom out, you're like, okay, Superior, and then it bumps down into all the Great Lakes, eventually into Erie, and then into Ontario, and then out towards Montreal.
That's correct. Yes.
Right. So I was totally backwards. Thanks for that. That's good clarification.
It all depends where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that shows you how much I know about the. I'm learning. I know Lake Erie. That's the one I've been on, but I know Ontario is a huge. People talk about that, and the Grand, and there's all these amazing rivers up there.
The Grand Rivers. Actually, we did the Grand River, and we have programs running the Grand River a couple times right now. We got veterans that fish the Grand Rivers. I fished it myself personally. It's a nice river, and you have to be right on the time of when the steelhead or the coast salmon or salmon coming in. Like Ontario's got lots of rivers, same as Quebec City. Quebec province. I fished the Ontario Lake, and it's different fishing because it's hard to do fly fishing because it's so big of a lake. And I did some call it outfitters, like they go out on the boat and the water, like trolling.
Oh, right. So like gear fishing out there.
Yeah.
Did you guys find anything?
Oh yeah.
Any fish?
Oh yeah. We just so we got lake trout. You got salmon. You got steelhead. Like the fisheries up in the Great Lakes are pretty excellent. Like I was in the Sault Ste. Marie on the St. Marie Rapids for steelhead. It's like in the rapids, it's all the fly fishing, and it's amazing fishing there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha. Right. So So yeah, and you're basically, like you said, brook trout is one of your favorite, but you also have is Atlantic salmon. Is that something you guys, I mean, you're right in the area for that too. Is that something you've been chasing?
Yes, we got a few, like in Quebec City area, you don't have too many salmon rivers, but you got to go down to the Gaspé area. That's where, the Gaspé area has got lots of nice rivers there. And that's on the south shore. Then you go on the north shore, from Sept-Îles all the way up to Labrador. And it's a nice, salmon fishing is fabulous in Quebec. And it's all catch and release as well. And about 7 years ago, I went out on the Keswick Lodge and catching some nice big salmon, like 28, 30-pound salmon. That's on a fly. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. And that's on the Restigouche River. That's a famous river for big salmon.
How do you spell that one?
Restigouche, Restigouche. Restigouche.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We got two lodge on the Restigouche River. That's actually invite veterans on. One is so one is in June. The other one is in the September time frame, and it's actually great opportunity.
This is New Brunswick.
Yeah, that's in New Brunswick. That's a great opportunity to go out and try your luck on the salmon fishing.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about the New Brunswick and some of that area. It's not, you can find some places maybe that aren't quite as expensive, right, as some of the other areas. Yeah,
that's like in the Quebec Gaspé area, you can actually go out to fish the some good, excellent salmon river. You got the Saint Jean, you got the Restigouche River, goes into the Quebec side. You have the Dartmouth, the York as well, and it's probably be $50 a day for the pass.
Mm-hmm.
And you got one or two pools that you can actually go, and there's also control.
Oh, so you get your pool? Is that how it works? You get your own pool?
Yeah, they have so many rods per pool per day.
Oh yeah.
So if you're a group of 4, so they give you two pool, but then you have those 2 pools for that full day. So you can have 2 rods in one pool and 2 rods in the other pools, and you change over between the 2 guys. And it's probably be about $50 to $75 a day. And if you need a guide, the guide's about $150 a day.
There you go.
So
right on. Cool. Well, this has been good, Gervais. Do you think maybe give us anything else you want to give a heads up on with Heroes Mending on the Fly Canada that we haven't talked about today? Any for people listening before we head out of here?
The only thing is, if any Canadian guys that want to fly fishermen that actually want to volunteer their time with us, we're more than welcome to come and give me a shout. Send me an email through national directors at hmotf.ca, and I will be really pleased to respond back and guide you to the right direction. Any flying tying people that don't need their flying tying material, that actually can send it to us, and I'll give you the address and everything. It's
perfect.
And actually, I'll send it through the email for you guys, and you can actually put it on your webpage or your post, whatever. We're always looking for volunteers. If you know any military people that actually struggle with PTSD, or any first responders that trouble with PTSD, just give us a shout, and we'll try to help them out the best as we can.
Amazing. All right, Gervais, well, we'll leave it there, and we'll definitely put a link out to Heroes Mending on the Fly Canada.ca if people want to connect. And I just want to thank you for all the good work you've been doing over the years, and it sounds like you're going to keep it going strong as you head forward. So thanks for all your time today and the great work.
Well, thank you very much, Dave, for your invitation. I was really pleased to talk with you and have a chat on that. And thank you very much, Dave. Have a good week.
That is a wrap. You can grab all of the show notes at wetflyswing.com. And please follow us on Instagram and share this episode out with someone you love. Please send me an email, dave@wetflyswing.com, if you have any feedback or want us to put together an episode on this podcast for you. Check in anytime. I hope you enjoyed this podcast and would love to meet up with you on the water. We have new fly fishing schools going all year long and all around the country. So if you want to connect, let's do it right now. All right, time to get out of here. I hope you have a great evening. I hope you have a great morning or great afternoon wherever in the world you are. And I appreciate you for stopping by and checking out the show today. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Wet Fly Swing Fly Fishing Show. For notes and links from this episode, visit wetflyswing.com.